say, if you're suffering from the following things: slayed edges, headache, migraine, you too are suffering from tight bonnet syndrome. Stay tuned. Today, we're coming to you very nice and serious. I'm playing. Anyways, so today we're going to be talking about different things that I feel like personally as a natural hair or even a black woman that I suffer through, which I think y'all suffer through. So we're going to go and say the 5 different things, and you can add some too. First up, I have tight bonnet syndrome, and then I have stiff neck syndrome. Okay. I have tight wig disorder. Commercial, so basically comparative disorder, and then finally, not last but least, is frizz paranoia. So we're gonna go ahead and attack tight bonnet syndrome. Bonnet up, Bethlehem. You see a bonnet. Sorry, that thing with Derek Jackson threw me off. I'm sorry, but seriously though, like with tight bonnet syndrome, I feel like I suffer from it too. I feel like it's when you are so committed to slaying your hairstyle. You're so committed to saying your hairstyle. You don't care if you risk brain damage. If you risk brain damage, as long as your edges are slayed. And I have a tendency to tie my bonnets really, really tight. Mostly wear scarves. Bonnets slip and slide too much. I'm a little crazy of a sleeper, but I be doing it, okay? Like, I know I'm supposed to be y'all natural hair influencer to tell you how to do things better than me, which I be telling you, but like sometimes the hairstyle need a little facelift. Like, you ever have where like you're holding the scarf is so tight, you get like a facelift almost. Like, sometimes you need that. But I would say my suggestion is not every day my solution. I'm going to give you the disorder, and I'm going to give you my personal solution. Dr. Claire here to the rescue. I don't have a doctorate in that. But my solution is not every day's got to be a slay. I know it's going to be hard to hear from my divas out there. I know, but not every day has to be a slay. I feel like that's what really messes up, because like every single day, like your edges have to be laid. I was like, are you on reality TV? Are you being paid to have your edges slayed all the time? Do you have times off? Like, I would say definitely for sure long-term damage. I can see it being where, besides the migraines and the headaches, like I can just see long-term damage with wearing tight bonnets, which is of course traction alopecia, because like you're gripping your edges. You know what I'm trying to say? Like you're gripping them so strong. And I feel like that's one thing, but I also feel like as well that with tight bonnet syndrome, it kind of ruins the experience. It's like you can sit there and go get your hair done. You're just like, yeah. And then you gotta go, it's you in that bed. It's you in that pillow. Okay. And that brings me to my second one. My second one that I have here that I want to add to the DSM, diathesis stress model for psychology, is stiff neck syndrome. Everybody got that stiff neck. Okay. And I would say stiff neck syndrome is when you leave the hair salon and they're just like, you got to go to sleep pretty like this. I was like, man, my neck hurt, please. So that's why I said like stiff neck syndrome. Cause like even me, like even with this hairstyle, which of course the tutorial is out now everywhere in stores, YouTube. But, even when I was sleeping, I was kind of going to sleep like this, so the front part wouldn't be messed up. But I'm just like, Claire, if you have to redo it in the morning, it's worth your neck being still usable in a couple of years. So it's worth your neck being still usable in a couple of years. So definitely for sure, I would say don't. I know it's gonna be hard to hear, but like, it might be worth messing the hairstyle up. Like, do you want to have it where you got to fuse one of your discs and your social security? Wow. If you want to fuse one of the discs in your spinal cord, or you want to risk one day where your hair is not perfect. Like, I think for sure that, I definitely suffer from stiff neck syndrome, especially when you first get them braids and you feel like you first get your braids in, it's just like this. So it's just like, I would definitely say for sure, make sure Just think about what's important to you. That's the best way. That's the one thing I've been learning as I get older. It's like, what's important to you? Is it maintaining the hairstyle or maintaining your posture? You're not gonna have no neck to have a stiff neck for. Okay, that's gonna roll me into my next one. Now this one, I think personally, and that's how I slowly look up. This one I think is very personal to me. Tight wig syndrome. Now, I just, sorry, this is a safe space, but I just want these wig companies. I need for you to make wigs. I need for you to make wigs for people who were born vaginally, okay? So I wasn't a C-section baby, which means my head's very weirdly shaped, okay? I have a weird shaped head. When I turn to the side, it looks funny. My head is really big, you know, and that's why I make sure I call my mom and text her twice a day. I feel like I owe her that much. My head is huge. So when I sit there, my head is 24 inches around. Don't judge me, judge yourself. So when I see these wigs, and these wigs are, when I sit there and I see these wigs and they're like, when I sit here and see these wigs and they're like measured at 20 inches or even 19 inches, like I already know I'm going to have to risk 4 inches of brain matter. I'm going to have to risk 4 inches of brain matter so I can fit into this wig. This is why I be telling y'all, tight wig syndrome is a real disorder. I don't know how close I can get. Look, you can see my birthmark. Like, I don't know how close I can get. Tight wig syndrome is a real... Tight wig syndrome is real. Like, my neck was, I promise you, I remember I had this one wig. It was so tight. Like, my headache, I had to go home from work. And they're just like, Clara, is everything all right? Like, me over, like, I was like, let me just blame my time of the month. Well, you know, the time of the month got me. It was the wig. I had to go home. Like, my head was too tight. I remember I went into the bathroom to try to loosen it. It's to no avail. To no avail. Yeah. I was like, to no avail. I had to go home because the wig was too tight. Tight wig syndrome is real. We meet on Wednesdays. Wig Wednesdays. We meet on Wednesdays. Okay. Tight wig syndrome is a real disorder. For us people who have big heads, tight wig syndrome is a real disorder. I'm bringing wings next time. Wig Wednesday. So I'll be bringing wings, but definitely come and visit me definitely come visit me for sure, because like literally my solution is of course to not wear any wigs, or if you do wear a wig, make sure it has a review of someone who also is a fellow big head in waiting, you know. So make sure the review shows someone with a big head, because no offense, but when I watch these other wig reviews, I be judging. I look at how tall you are, look at how big your head is, because no offense, but the people with the pea head size, you know, bless them, so lucky. People with the pea head size head, I'm not looking at your reviews. I'm literally typing big head friendly for a reason, because literally I've gotten literally migraines behind the eyes, and it was so severe that after I took the wig off, my head was still reverberating against my skull. So that's why I said, I was like, hey, I only watch people who have big heads, okay? I can only go from somebody who understands. Now, this next one is comparative disorder. I feel like what happened, especially with me, I would say growing up, is comparative disorder. It's just from watching these commercials. Like, remember, before social media, commercials were how we got, commercials were our media. So when you sit there and you see on the commercials and they're washing with this Pantene Provine and their hair just bounces back and like twists and turns and straight and flowy. And I look at my hair and I was like, my hair don't do that. I use that. The thing was, I begged my mom to buy that same Pantene. Shampoo, and yet it still didn't make my hair look bouncy. I was like, it's broken. Bring it back. I was like, turn it back, and it's broken. But yeah, like that's why I was saying that, like, I really can't understand why people don't understand. You can have the most confidence in the world, but you see that commercial with somebody whose hair doesn't look like yours, you're going to start thinking and formulating, of course, you know, a bias towards your own self. So that's why I said comparative disorder is definitely for sure one on the list. And then we're gonna wrap it up with frizz paranoia. Now, this could be just me, but with frizz paranoia, Frizz paranoia is real. Frizz paranoia anxiety disorder is real, because there's been plenty of times where like I do a sleek bun or a sleek ponytail. I'm just like, wait, did a fly away? Did something pop up? Is my hair frizzy? Is my hair not laid? You know, like it's a real paranoia. And I feel like I can't speak English today. I would say part of the reason why that is because so many people don't see natural hair as kept. People don't see natural hair as kept. People don't see natural hair as done. So frizz paranoia anxiety disorder. Okay, I was at FPAD. I definitely for sure feel like it's real as well, because you're sitting there and you're just like, okay, well, I slicked my hair back all the way, didn't I? Or I slicked my hair back all the way, didn't I? Or maybe I didn't do this all the way. Like, you're doing your best. You're trying to do as much as you can, but it's really one of those things where I feel like we need to talk about it more, especially with my video about like, yes, your hair is done. I love doing that video. But I wouldn't mind going back and retouching on certain parts of that, because you know, whenever there's a special event, an Easter, even an engagement, your wedding, people are always like, oh, I'm definitely getting a wig for that. Or I'm definitely going to make sure I have inches for my birthday. Oh, Christmas is coming up. I got to have inches, you know? So it's just definitely one of those things where I feel like frizz paranoia is a real thing. But what other ones do you guys think are like mental disorders for natural hair? I'm still going back to the wig anxiety, the wig headache. Like, you think you know what a headache is? You've never put on a wig that don't fit. You've never put on a wig that don't fit. Like, whenever they be in an interview, tell me about a time. I was like, tell you about a time. Let me tell you about a time when I was at work. I was in the middle of work and I had to go home because my wig was so tight. My wig was so tight. Like, my head's so big. And then I have the audacity to have hella hair under here. That's my problem. Like, my head is thick. My head and my hair is thick. And I have the audacity to sit there and want to put on a bob wig. Like, my head was like, all right, well, we're going to take out the hypothalamus. We're going to take one of these quadrants out in the back. We're going to take one of these quadrants out in the back and go about our business. Cause I'm just like, it wasn't fitting. It wasn't fitting. But don't forget to subscribe, share. It's Claire Haire, new episode on Friday. Be there.